Did you know that professional footballers are reportedly 3 times more likely to develop gambling problems compared to the general population? Consider that a staggering 40% of pro footballers may face bankruptcy within 5 years of retirement. These aren't mere statistics. They represent lives and careers profoundly impacted. We're focusing on 7 specific stars who became part of this troubling trend, losing fortunes in casinos. We will analyze the factors that make elite athletes particularly susceptible and discuss what their stories teach us about the intersection of high income, intense professional pressure, and the powerful pull of gambling. They were young, exceptionally rich, and performing at the highest level of their sport. So how did the enticing glow of the casino lead to such massive losses so very quickly? We're looking at football stars whose initial experiences with high-stakes gambling rapidly became serious warnings. Consider players like Wayne Rooney and Nicklas Bendtner. They stand out as clear examples of footballers who either fell into gambling habits early in their careers or experienced shockingly fast financial losses that many can't even imagine. What kind of environment truly supports this behavior? Picture this: you're young, and suddenly you have access to enormous wealth. On top of that, you face intense pressure to perform flawlessly, week in and week out, in front of millions. And what about that powerful competitive drive? The very thing that makes these players superstars on the field. Does that drive simply turn off when they leave the pitch? Or does it spill over, constantly searching for another game to conquer? Even if that game is on a casino floor, was it simply boredom during the long hours of downtime? Was it the pursuit of another adrenaline surge similar to scoring a winning goal? Or was it something deeper? Wayne Rooney's experience provides a significant example. His struggles with gambling began very early in his celebrated career. Even while becoming a household name at Manchester United, the attraction to betting was powerful and present. How did it all start for him? Rooney himself admitted that he was absorbed by gambling. His initial bets were often successful, and that early taste of winning encouraged him to pursue it further. He didn't limit his betting to just one area. He would gamble on football matches, boxing, and blackjack. Reports indicate he often used his phone to place bets, even during team training camps and while traveling with the team. The habit escalated with concerning speed, becoming a serious issue while he was still a young, active player. Now, prepare for this figure. Wayne Rooney's reported gambling losses exceeded a staggering £1 million. Imagine losing that much money. This is particularly alarming because these habits formed, and losses occurred early in his career, a time when he was a rising global star. This wasn't a case of post-retirement blues. It was happening as his trophy cabinet began to fill. And this isn't just a problem of the past. Consider Brazilian superstar Neymar. In 2023, he reportedly lost an incredible $1 million during a single online casino session. While Neymar's overall wealth is immense, an event like this throws a harsh spotlight on the dangers of easily accessible online gambling, a threat that current players face constantly. Neymar has also served as an ambassador for online poker platforms, and his social media often features images related to gambling. This accessibility makes it easy for huge sums to disappear in moments. What makes these elite athletes, these peak competitors, so vulnerable? Several psychological factors are at play. There's the chase for the thrill, that buzz of risk. There's also the illusion of control. Top athletes are used to controlling outcomes through skill and dedication, and this mindset can dangerously spill over into games of pure chance. That competitive athlete mindset, the drive to win at all costs, can become a perilous double-edged sword when it comes to gambling. It can lead to a belief in one's ability to predict outcomes, even when that's impossible. Then there's Nicklas Bendtner, the former Arsenal striker. His story shows just how quickly a fortune can be wiped out. As detailed in his biography, Both Sides, Bendtner lost an astonishing €500,000 in just 90 minutes. That's €500,000 gone in the time it takes to play a football match. He admitted to gambling in casinos in London and Monaco, and like Rooney, often placed bets from his phone while in team hotels. The sheer speed of this loss highlights the incredibly impulsive decisions that can happen in high-stakes gambling and the devastating speed at which a player's finances can be destroyed. These rapid, shocking losses are startling, but they represent just the initial signs. For some players, what started as a risky thrill or a way to pass time unfortunately spiraled into years of devastating financial problems and deep personal struggles. For some truly legendary footballers, stepping into a casino grew far beyond a one-time error in judgment. It developed into a relentless, destructive habit that slowly, or sometimes very quickly, ate away at multi-million-pound fortunes. How does a career filled with peak earnings, massive salaries, and lucrative endorsement deals transform into a deep black hole of debt? This troubling question certainly applies to several stars. Let's focus on Ivan Zamorano and Cristian Vieri. These were not obscure players by any means. They were celebrated athletes, heroes to millions of fans, whose sustained brilliance on the football pitch unfortunately couldn't shield them from crippling, long-term gambling losses. Their stories show on-field success doesn't grant immunity. What pulls these already established stars into such a damaging and often long-term cycle? Think about the powerful allure of luxury lifestyles. High earnings bring pressure, sometimes self-inflicted, sometimes external, to maintain a certain image. Lavish lifestyles become the norm. Gambling intertwines with this, a high-stakes thrill, another perceived way to feel the rush of winning. Did their consistently high earnings create a dangerous false sense of security? Did they operate under the assumption that the money would just keep rolling in, no matter their spending or betting habits? It certainly seems that way for some. Ivan Zamorano was a genuine hero in South American football, a prolific and respected striker, especially remembered for his successful time at Real Madrid and as the proud captain of the Chilean national team. His career was absolutely packed with goals and numerous honors, but alongside his many on-field triumphs, Zamorano developed a taste for luxury and a strong, persistent penchant for gambling. This was disastrous. His extravagant lifestyle, amplified by bets, led him down a path where he started accumulating massive personal debts. A sustained pattern of overspending and very risky betting unraveled his finances, and the eventual cost for Zamorano? Reports from reliable sources indicate he accumulated over $5 million in personal loan debts. Think about that for a moment. $5 million not just lost from his earnings, but owed to others, directly linked to supporting his gambling habit and an expensive lifestyle that went far beyond even his substantial football income. Then there's the compelling case of Paul Merson, the former Arsenal midfielder and England international. Merson has been incredibly open and honest about his struggles, which paints an even broader picture of how these serious issues can take hold and grow. He bravely battled not just one, but multiple addictions, and gambling was a major destructive one. Over his career, these compounded issues cost him an estimated and truly mind-boggling £7 million. For Merson, it wasn't just gambling in isolation, it was part of a larger, more complex pattern of addictive behavior that also included serious problems with alcohol and drug abuse. Each problem unfortunately fed into the others, creating a devastating downward spiral that engulfed his finances and his personal life despite his considerable and recognized success on the pitch. A key factor in these deep financial slides is a common psychological trap known as chasing losses. Have you ever lost something important and felt an overwhelming, almost irresistible urge to get it back, no matter the potential cost? For gamblers, this dangerous urge translates into trying to win back the money they've already lost. They often attempt this by significantly increasing the size of their bets, making far riskier choices, desperately hoping for that one big, elusive win to set everything right again. But it very rarely works out that way. Instead, this behavior usually leads to even greater financial devastation, digging a deeper hole from which it becomes almost impossible to climb out. This pattern isn't driven by logic or sound judgment, but by growing desperation and often a persistent illusion of control. A flawed belief that the very next bet will be the one that changes everything. Italian striking legend Cristian Vieri offers another incredibly stark example of this destructive path. Vieri was a true icon in his playing days, known for scoring goals for fun in Serie A with top clubs like Juventus and Inter Milan, and also making his mark in La Liga for Atletico Madrid. His successful career generated immense wealth through high salaries and endorsements. Yet, he reportedly lost an absolutely enormous sum of money. The primary culprits for this financial ruin? Poker and various other gambling activities that became habitual. The losses didn't happen in a single night, but accumulated steadily over time, as the habit took a firm and unyielding grip on his life. So, what was the final price for Vieri's gambling? A massive 16 million euros. 16 million euros. Just let that figure sink in for a second. That's the kind of money that could comfortably secure multiple generations of a family. Instead, it vanished, primarily into the world of high-stakes gambling. This truly showcases the terrifying scale of financial ruin possible, even for elite athletes who are among the very highest earners in their demanding sport. It proves, without a doubt, that no income, no matter how large, is too substantial to be completely wiped out by a sustained and uncontrolled gambling habit. The financial figures we've discussed, millions upon millions lost, millions accumulated in debt, are truly shocking and hard to comprehend. But the true cost of these addictions, these habits that can turn from a momentary thrill into a devastatingly destructive force, often extends far, far beyond their bank accounts. It seeps insidiously into every part of their lives, impacting professional careers, destroying vital relationships, and taking a profound and lasting toll on their mental well-being. So, what really happens when the millions of pounds are all gone, and for these footballers, the game they thought they controlled is truly over? We are going to look at the devastating aftermath of gambling addiction. It's a story of financial ruin, deep personal crises, and also, surprisingly, the paths some have taken towards recovery and even advocacy. Let's introduce Clark Carlisle. Here's a man who was a Premier League defender. He played for clubs like Burnley and Leeds United. He was so respected he even became chairman of the Professional Footballers Association, the PFA. You would think his intelligence and position would protect him, but it didn't stop a catastrophic gambling addiction that led him to financial ruin and tragically even a suicide attempt. His story is a powerful one. Now, consider this statistic: as many as 40% of professional footballers may face bankruptcy within just 5 years of retiring. 40%. That's an incredibly high number. What are the systemic issues in the world of professional sports that are contributing to this alarming trend? Clark Carlisle's journey shows us the stark reality. He had success on the field, but off the field, his struggles were immense. His gambling addiction led to huge financial losses. He lost his savings. The personal impact was profound, culminating in that suicide attempt where he threw himself in front of a truck. Thankfully, he survived, but with severe injuries. This terrible experience became a turning point for him. Carlisle now openly discusses his battles with mental health and addiction. He uses his platform to raise awareness and push for more support within sports. What are the broader factors at play here? A big one is a lack of financial literacy. Many players come into the professional game young, suddenly handling huge sums of money without the education to manage it well. This can lead to poor investment choices and overspending. Then there's the immense pressure to maintain a lavish lifestyle. During their careers, they get used to a high standard of living. After retirement, adjusting can be very difficult. This often results in continued overspending on luxury items and homes, leading to debt. And we cannot forget the easy accessibility of online gambling. It's available 24/7, often anonymously, right on their phones. For individuals often seeking thrills, like athletes, this constant access can quickly spiral into addiction. Research highlights a disturbing finding. Footballers are 3 times more likely to have gambling issues than the average person. Why this heightened vulnerability? It seems to be a combination of factors, including that competitive drive, needing an outlet, the high-pressure environment, and perhaps too much downtime, coupled with significant disposable income. So that shocking 40% bankruptcy figure within 5 years of retirement for professional footballers, why does it happen? The reasons are multifaceted. It's often a combination of those huge, aggressive career earnings suddenly stopping, a lack of financial wisdom to manage what they earned, ongoing pressure to maintain expensive lifestyles, and the ever-present, powerful allure of gambling. Mental health plays a massive role in all of this. Stories like Clark Carlisle's and Paul Merson's, who also became a mental health advocate after losing an estimated £7 million to gambling, really shed light on the psychological issues. The constant pressure for performance, dealing with injuries, and living under intense public scrutiny can all contribute to mental health challenges. These challenges, in turn, can increase the risk of developing addictive behaviors. Sometimes, a macho culture within sports can also make it incredibly hard for athletes to admit they need help. The long-term career consequences are severe. Tarnished reputations are common. Future opportunities in coaching or media can be lost. The road to recovery is almost always long and incredibly difficult. Yet some, like Merson and Carlisle, have turned their struggles into becoming powerful advocates. They share their stories to help others. What is being done, or what more should be done, to prevent this? there's a call for comprehensive financial education programs. Mental health support services need to be readily available, and responsible gambling initiatives are crucial. The PFA has started educating younger players about financial planning and preparing for life after football. Organizations like the Sporting Chance Clinic, founded by former Arsenal captain Tony Adams, provide vital support. They found that gambling is the drug of choice for the Premier League footballer, which truly underscores how serious this is. Campaigns like The Big Step, founded by James Grimes, are fighting to remove gambling advertising from football. They advocate for education and stricter regulations, like the Premier League's upcoming ban on gambling sponsors on the front of shirts from 2026. These stories are far more than just dramatic headlines for news cycles. They are absolutely critical case studies. They offer invaluable lessons for anyone currently in the sports industry or even dreaming of entering it. The tales of these 7 footballers are a clear warning. Huge talent and massive earnings don't protect anyone from gambling's powerful pull. The strategic errors and mental weaknesses we've seen are vital lessons in managing money and staying mentally tough. For anyone in sports or aspiring to be, understanding these stories offers actionable lessons for a truly resilient career. True success lies in smart financial management and robust well-being, safeguarding your future. What measures do you believe should protect athletes from such pitfalls? Share your insights below and subscribe for more.